Good morning. Thank you all so much for joining Railbookers as today we unlock the world and show you our latest and greatest and most exciting destinations for 2025. Thanks so much for joining me here today, everyone, and joining Railbookers. My name is Jim Marini, and will proudly be your host here today. Proudly the Senior Vice President of Strategic Partnerships for Railbookers. And folks, we got a real treat in store for you. And by the way, if you stick with me throughout today's training webinar, I am going to be giving away a $100 Amazon gift card at the end of today's live training webinar to one lucky person. So it may just be you. All right, folks, I hope you have your coffee, your tea, you're getting nice and comfortable to enjoy today's training webinar because, again, it's a real treat for each and every one of you. And I want to thank you all so much for being here and to learn more about 2025. But to kick things off, first and foremost, when you think of the word Railbookers, I always say this anytime and every time I have the pleasure of meeting many travel advisors and ICs, independent consultants, and travel agents out there throughout the United States and Canada. Obviously, when you think of Railbookers and you hear the name Railbookers, we do rail. We know rail. We know it inside and out. We also have some nice logo gear, as you can see here. But really, what we are, folks, as you can see, looking at your picture right here on your screen, we are truly a worldwide independent FIT tour operator. So we do vacations all over the world, not just rail, but hotels, 3, 4, 5-star hotels, sightseeing tours, meals, transfers, ferries in Europe. We pretty much can book almost everything for you and your client in one call. And by the way, if you like working with any of our rail experts, you can work with just them. All right. So as you start working with us and getting quotes and booking any exciting trips for you and your clients, once you have that connection with one or two of our rail experts, you then can email them. You don't even have to pick up the phone if you don't want to. All right. But I always say initially, give us a call. We are open 7 days a week. All right. Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays and Sundays from 9 to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But take a look, folks, at this picture. All right. Europe, as you'll see today, is certainly our most popular trending destination, not only in general, but especially for 2025. But as you can see, we go all over the world: Canada, Alaska, South America, Asia, Australia, South Africa. I could go on and on. And here's the cool part: we not only can book local trains within each of these countries, we can book luxury trains, we can book iconic trains, we can also book high speed trains. And you're going to hear about even some of my own trips that I've had the pleasure of traveling on with my family recently to talk firsthand. But take a look at the top right hand corner. Again, when you think of Railbookers, obviously we do rail, but we also do hotel, sightseeing, transfers, and so much more. And that's what you're going to learn about in today's training webinar. I did want to mention also, if you're looking at your screen overall, you'll have the video of myself. Hello, that's me, everyone. All right, on your screen, a little more information. We got some great icons down at the bottom to help give you more information about Railbookers and some of the different areas that you can learn more about. But we also have an exciting flash sale going on right now where your clients can save up to $600 off per couple on any destination that we have specials going on next year, all right, at 2024 pricing. So keep that in mind. So any vacations for 2025, we got an exciting flash sale going on right now. So perfect opportunity to get your clients excited to plan their next or their first exciting rail vacation of a lifetime. And folks, as I mentioned, when you think Railbookers, really we are a worldwide land FIT tour operator. We're truly a one-stop shop for trains, hotels, sightseeing, transfers, and more. And what I love about this particular picture is we can help connect the dots. A question that often comes up is, well, what do we need to book? What's the minimum requirements? Well, anytime you work with Railbookers, we do require a minimum of one-night hotel. Why? We're not a rail ticketer. We're a worldwide land tour operator. So when you book rail with us, as long as you have a minimum of one-night hotel, we can book as much or as little as needed. And everything is commissionable. Did I mention There's not one thing you book with us that's not commissionable. Everything's commissionable. Have you ever heard of NCFs? All right. There is none of that when it comes to Railbookers. And speaking of cruises, you know, over 30% of our business, our bookings from our travel advisors like yourselves joining me here today, over 30% is actually pre and post cruise extensions where we can take your clients way beyond the port cities. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as I feature our most popular trending destinations right now for 2025. Now, I mentioned earlier, but your clients can stay at a variety of hotels. They also have a variety of activities. And this is something I feel like we need to bring more attention to with all of our travel advisors. We have so many different optional excursions and tours that can be added on and built on to any of our packages. And here's the nice part: you don't need a minimum number of people in order for us to operate those tours or excursions. If you have one client that may want to do a private food tour, if you have one client that may want to go on a Gray Line sightseeing tour or a helicopter ride, wherever it may be, we have such a variety of optional excursions that can also be added on to any of our tours. And I'm going to talk about some of those examples when I talk about Italy, which of course is one of our exciting trending destinations for next year, 2025. Again, I know I mentioned this, but your clients can choose their accommodations ranging from 3, 4 to 5-star hotels, 3, 4 to 5 diamond hotels. And did you know your clients can mix and match? So as an example, they could be at a 3-star or 3-diamond hotel in the first city, and then when they travel to the second city, they could be at a 4-star or 4-diamond city. And then the third city they travel on during their same trip could be a 5-star or 5-diamond hotel. Maybe your clients are celebrating a special birthday or an anniversary, whatever it may be. We certainly have the opportunity to mix and match during those exciting trips. All right. Now, with Railbookers, folks, we have a whole series of different travel styles, which is great. So definitely keep that in mind on any of our packages, which is great. So over here, if you look in the top left-hand corner, we have packages for clients that want to experience some of the famous trains. We have a whole series of luxury trains. Did you know when you book with Railbookers, we partner, in fact, with some of the largest, we are the largest partner with many of these trains around the world. Trains such as the Venice Simplon Orient Express, Belmont over in Scotland, Rocky Mountaineer in Canada, the Maharaj Express in India, the Blue Train in South Africa. I could go on and on, all right, of all these luxury trains. We can book those trains and book so much more for you and your clients in the same package, the same itinerary. We also, as I mentioned, have a ton of pre and post cruise extensions. In fact, we have over 60 that tie in perfectly to any Rhine River cruise, any Danube River cruise, cruise in the fjords in Norway, maybe Mediterranean cruises. We do a ton of pre and post cruise extensions throughout Europe for Mediterranean cruises. We do have what we call once in a lifetime. Many of you may have seen this, but we came out recently, just about a year ago, with 80 days around the world by luxury train. How cool is that? All right. You know, and to give the cruise lines credit, they came out years ago with sailing around the world. We wanted to take the same concept, and why not rail around the world? All right. And that's certainly a trip of a lifetime. And by the way, some of the commission on that, you can only imagine how much that each and every one of you can make booking one of those once in a lifetime vacations. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner, we do have packages that allow your clients to sleep on board the trains. Although I will say in Europe, most trains are include travel during the day. Why? Because many of them are high-speed trains. We do have our signature series, which is more of our luxury premium tours. We also have first-time packages for your clients that are traveling to Italy for their first time, traveling to different destinations for their first time. And of course, our most popular, which is what I'm going to feature here today. Now, what I love about train travel too, folks, and I've been in the industry, believe it or not, since age 15, 1-5, all right? So needless to say, that was only 10 years ago. I'm kidding, of course, right? I wish it was only 10 years ago, but I've been in the industry a long time. And I got to say, when your clients travel by train, getting in and out of the heart of the city is such a huge selling point. Here's a perfect example of that. I often get asked questions from many folks like yourselves, our travel advisors, our travel agents, travel consultants out there that want to know, well, how will my clients get in and out of the city center? How do they get to and from the main part of the city? That's the beauty when it comes to train travel. So many of the train stations, folks, are located right in the heart of the city. And guess what? Most of the hotels that we use that you get to stay at for you and your clients are literally either within walking distance from the train station or a short cab ride, a short taxi ride. All right. So keep that in mind. And again, just a reminder to also, folks, at the end of today's training webinar, for those of you that joined me the whole time, I will be giving away a $100 Amazon gift card to one lucky person. And I am going to open it up to any questions that you may have. So feel free to type those away as I go through, and I'll save time to answer those at the end. Now, when we talk about pre and post cruise extensions, why not combine your client's rail trip with any cruise? Number one, you're going to make way more commission making one extra call, sending one extra email to Railbookers, in addition to booking your Viking River Cruise, your Ama River Cruise, your Uniworld River Cruise, right? Your Avalon Cruise, any of those premium cruise lines going to the Mediterranean. It's one extra call or one extra email, and you're going to make that much more commission. But here's the beauty when it comes to pre and post cruise extensions, folks. We can take your clients way beyond the port city. Remember, over 30% of our business is pre and post cruise extensions. You see, if I asked you all the question right now, if you were to book any pre or post extension with one of the river cruises, because many of the river cruises, even some of the major cruise lines, will offer a pre or post. But as you all know, typically it's 1 or 2 days. It's very expensive. It's very little commission, okay? And you typically can't customize or personalize those extensions as much. We could take your clients, and I'm going to give you an example. Let's say on a Rhine River cruise where they start or end in Basel. We could take them from Basel over to Zurich. We can go from Zurich down to Zermatt. We can go from Zermatt over to St. Moritz. We can go from St. Moritz down into Milan, Italy, where they can then fly home, or go from Milan down to Venice, over to Florence, and then end in Rome. We can take them way beyond the port city. And no trips need to be consecutive nights, all right? So you could have 2 or 3 days that you book with us before your client's river cruise, and then you could have a week after that they book, and it can be in the same reservation, the same one booking, and everything's commissionable. By the way, did I mention we're preferred with every single travel organization and consortium in the United States, Canada, England, Australia, around the world, okay? Which also means it's all preferred commission. Everything you book with us is commissionable. The journey, however, traveling by train truly is part of the experience. You see, if I asked you all the question right now, what does the scenery look like when any of us fly? I think it's pretty safe to say there's clouds everywhere. Doesn't matter if we're flying over the United States, flying over Canada, Europe, or anywhere in the world. When we're up in the air, it's clouds, all right? When you travel by train and your clients travel by train, you're seeing some of the beautiful countryside. You're traveling through literally the heart of some of these quaint little villages and towns and cities throughout the world. And also, they don't have to worry about being stuck in traffic. They don't have to worry about driving on the other side of the road if they're in certain countries around the world. Traveling by train truly is part of the experience. And what I love, and I hear this so often from so many of our travel advisors, folks, they love traveling by trains. When you get those requests from your clients, and you know you do here and there periodically, where your clients want to see 7 countries in 10 days, right? Or they want to see 6 cities in a week. We make traveling to multiple cities, multiple destinations so easy, and we can do it all in one trip. I just attended a conference recently, and some of you may have had the opportunity to meet me in person, or I've had the opportunity to meet you in person. And I got to tell you, some of the bookings that I was hearing about from travel advisors like yourselves that had booked with us, they were clients that were traveling from London to Paris to Rome, and they were visiting multiple countries, multiple cities in Europe and around the world. And that was their whole point of why they were so excited to work with us, is we were able to package it all. We can combine it all. Remember, the only one thing primarily that we don't book are flights. So if you book flights, we will book everything else, and you'll make preferred commission on anything and everything you book with us, including multiple destinations, multiple cities in one trip. All right, folks. Now, probably no surprise to many of you, Switzerland is one of our top 5 most popular trending destinations right now for 2025. And I'll give you a little secret. It's been one of the top 5 for years. And again, I just had my 11-year anniversary, actually, just a few weeks ago here at Railbookers, and Switzerland is consistently always in the top. All right. We make it easy. We know Switzerland inside and out. And here's a nice little map of all the different great cities, great destinations where you and your clients can travel to by train. All right. Remember, as I mentioned, in the top left-hand corner, you see Basel. So any of you that have clients either booked or are planning to book Rhine River cruises, again, it's one extra call, one extra email after you book that river cruise with whatever great river cruise company you book with, allowing them to see so much more before and after. You know, here's my personal feeling, and I'm sure many of you would agree. I'm in Boston, if you haven't noticed a little bit of an accent, okay? But wherever any of you are located throughout the United States and Canada, if you're going to fly all the way to Europe, myself included, I want to see more. I don't know when I'm going to be back there next. By the way, your clients are no different, right? If they're going to be in Europe, give them a chance to see so much more. And that's where Railbookers comes in. Remember, over 30% of our business, pre and post cruise extension. But if you take a look at this map, all right, the trains can take your clients to Zurich, down to Geneva. And Switzerland, as many of you may be aware, is one of those unique countries in Europe where multiple languages are spoken in one country. All right. So if your clients are traveling up towards Basel and Zurich, German is the main language spoken. If they're traveling down to the lower portion of Switzerland on the left-hand side of the map, Geneva, French is the language that's spoken primarily. If they're traveling down towards Locarno or Lugano, Italian is going to be spoken, right? So again, just a very unique country with so many beautiful destinations. And speaking of beautiful, traveling by train truly is the way to do it. So when your clients travel, they're going on the Bernina Express, Glacier Express, Golden Pass, Jungfrau Joch, okay, Mount Pilatus, the Swiss Railways, and so much more. Now, this package happens to be one of our most popular packages trending next year. But did I mention we have several, literally several different packages in Switzerland that your clients can travel on? And here's the beautiful part. Because all of our trips are independent FIT style vacations, any trips can be customized. Any trips can be personalized. So if your clients want to add an extra day or two here, they want to take a day out, they want to add an additional sightseeing tour, we can easily do that. Wherever the trains go, we can take your clients there. And speaking of trains, Glacier Express, folks, this is rated as one of the top 10 most scenic train rides in the world, let alone in Switzerland. We call this the Glacier Express is the slowest high-speed train in Switzerland, all right? It's about a 7 to 8 hour train ride, takes your clients right throughout the heart of Switzerland, one of my personal favorite trains I've ever traveled on. And one of the reasons is we offer different categories that your clients can sit in while traveling, not only on Glacier Express, but any of the trains. Now, what you're looking at here, this is excellence class. This is the most premium level on board the train, all right? This is that 5-star, that 5-diamond experience. In this category on board the train, there's only 20 seats available, 20 seats available, and they're what we call one-by-one seating. So each seat facing each other, as you can see in the picture, with the table in the middle. But take a look at the view, folks, all right? Here's my question to all of you. Where would you like to sit? Where would I like to sit if I was traveling? You're looking at it right here. So for a little bit more per person, your clients can be in excellence class where they have a 5-course menu in meals. They have an appetizer bar. They have an actual bar in the back portion of excellence class, as you can see right here on the left-hand side in the back, that they can be able to purchase any additional alcoholic beverages if they would like. They also have priority boarding. They even get their own iPad that's given them commentary as they travel from one amazing destination to another. Now, one of the most scenic train rides, in addition to Glacier, Express is what you're looking at here, the Bernina Express. This is one of my favorite pictures anywhere in the world, folks. All right. This train is a little bit shorter time wise than the Glacier Express. Bernina Express is about a 4 to 5 hour train ride. But did you know the entire train route is considered a UNESCO World Heritage Site? And when I mentioned earlier, traveling on these trains is so unique because not only are you traveling and your clients are traveling through the countryside, but there's so many portions during this particular train ride where literally the train tracks go right into the middle in the heart of these quaint little villages and towns, and people are, shopping and in at little cafes on either side of the train. I mean, it's unbelievable to me of how close and personal it gets, and your clients certainly have that opportunity. Here's some other great sites, the Gorner Grot, right? As you can see in the top left-hand corner, which also has amazing views right from Zermatt. Zermatt, personally, for me, my favorite city in all of Switzerland that I had the pleasure of traveling through. The Golden Pass, another iconic train. By the way, if you like Swiss chocolate and fondue, you can't go wrong in Switzerland. So keep Switzerland in mind. And as I mentioned again, several packages. That is one of the most popular destinations trending right now for 2025. And remember, right now, folks, we got our flash sale going on. So if you have clients that have Switzerland on their wish list, if you have clients that have Canada on their wish list, well, let's talk about Canada right here, right now. And the first picture I want to show everyone is the map of Via Rail. Via Rail is the national train of Canada. Now, what is the most popular route in all of Canada? It's that red line that you see right there, folks. That is the train known as the Canadian. All right. So if you ever hear the term the Canadian, that's what that train route is. And by the way, these trains right here in Canada, they can either go east to west or they can go west to east. So this entire train route can either start in Toronto and end in Vancouver or vice versa. It also has, we also have some train routes that can go up along eastern Canada, even all the way out to Halifax as well. But of course, the most popular region in all of Canada is the Canadian Rockies. And what's great with Railbookers, we not only partner with Via Rail, okay, as you can see here, which this is a 4-star, 4-diamond train where your clients can sit inside of the dome car when they travel on board. But we also partner with Rocky Mountaineer. So we have packages that include both trains in one trip where they could go on Via Rail from Vancouver, all right, out to the Canadian Rockies. And then from there, they board on Rocky Mountaineer and experience traveling on that train as well. And you can book it all as one package together with Railbookers. And the difference with Via Rail versus Rocky Mountaineer obviously is a 5-star, 5-diamond train. Via Rail is a 4-star, 4-diamond. But on Via Rail, your clients get a chance to overnight on board the train. When they travel on Rocky Mountaineer, it is train travel during the day where they are literally in the heart of the Canadian Rockies. Absolutely beautiful. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, I could book with Rocky Mountaineer if I wanted. Of course you can. The reason why so many travel advisors love booking it all together with Railbookers, remember what I said earlier. We package everything. We put it all together. All right. We make it easy for each and every one of you and your clients, from not only the trains, but hotels, sightseeing, transfers, and more. Also, not only do we travel on some of these iconic trains, such as the Canadian, or luxury trains, such as Rocky Mountaineer, the Canadian, or the Canadian on board Via Rail. But when we travel on Rocky Mountaineer in any of the trains, your clients can upgrade their room category, their seating on board. Now, when they travel on Rocky Mountaineer, it is train travel during the day. Gold Leaf is the most premium level on board the train, just like Excellence class is in Switzerland. Freshly prepared meals, beverages, snacks served by onboard hosts. And this is what it looks like when your clients travel sitting inside of Gold Leaf. How nice is this, folks? All right. Also, Silver Leaf, very beautiful as well. Large, picturesque windows, giving them some of the most iconic scenery. So keep Canada, and in particular the Canadian Rockies, or a trans-Canadian journey in mind. That's also another one of the top destinations trending for 2025 as well. Here we have Ireland. Now, Ireland, I got to say, folks, really has picked up so much over the last couple years and has now moved into one of our top five most popular trending destinations for next year. Why? Because of the scenery, because of the great cities that your clients get to visit. Not only Dublin, but Galway, Killarney, Limerick, and so much more. And they have the trains called the Irish Rails. The Irish Rails are the local trains. So those are going to be the trains that will take your clients throughout the heart of Ireland, traveling throughout all the great cities where they don't have to worry about driving. All right. They don't have to be on a bus with 44 other people. And by the way, when your clients travel on board the trains, here's one thing that I also love, whether it's on board the Irish Rails or any trains anywhere around the world, we want your clients to get up, walk around, go to the observation cars, stretch their legs. All right. Not as easy to do when we're flying. Certainly not as easy to do when we're on a motor coach bus. Okay. This is another nice highlight. Now, what's one of the trips trending very well for next year? Dublin, Cork, Killarney, and Galway. 10 days, 9 nights. And as you can see, looking on the right-hand side, we do include breakfast. Pretty much most days on this trip, we have sightseeing tours. We have the Dublin Pass included, in addition to rail travel in standard class. Now, anytime your clients travel, they do, again, have the option to upgrade their category of seating or sleeping accommodations. And any of our rail experts will work with you on making those enhancements as well. All right. From here, it's Alaska. Alaska, we call Alaska the gift that keeps on giving. Why? Because during the years of 2020 and 2021, when no fault whatsoever, where the cruise lines were not able to operate in Alaska, no fault of their own, it created such a huge demand and surge for people wanting to travel to Alaska by rail instead of sail. Well, guess what? That trend is still going. Alaska also is in our top 5 most popular trending destinations for next year. And if you have clients that really want to see Alaska and truly want to see Alaska, consider Alaska by rail with Railbookers. And as you can see, looking at the map, they can start as far north as Fairbanks and end as far south as Seward, if they would like. Typically, as you know, you'd fly your clients either into Anchorage and or Fairbanks, and we have packages that can either go northbound or southbound. But the real highlight for your clients when they travel to Alaska, which typically is in the months from May through September, it's not only the scenery, it's not only the wildlife, okay? It's getting a chance to travel on Alaska Railroad. This, like Via Rail, is also a 4-star, 4-diamond train. This, like Rocky Mountaineer, is a train during the day. There are no overnights in Alaska. So this would be train travel during the day. This package that you're looking at right here is one of our most popular packages trending for next year. And as I mentioned, whether it's Switzerland, whether it's Canada, whether it's Ireland, or here in Alaska, we have several packages to choose from in all of these destinations. And remember, any trip can be customized to add days, take out days, add extra city, sightseeing, you name it. Now, Alaska Railroad, what I'm going to suggest for any of your clients that are interested in Alaska is to consider upgrading to Gold Star service, okay? Gold Star service is what we call our premium level. So think about Glacier Express on board with Excellence class, that's the premium level. Think about Canada in the Canadian train, or better yet, Rocky Mountaineer, where it's Gold Leaf. Alaska Railroad, it's Gold Star service, which is amazing. Gold Star service, this is the 5-star, 5-diamond category. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons right now why your clients should consider to upgrade to Gold Star service, okay? Number 1, they have all their meals included while they're on board during the day as they're traveling from one great destination to another. Number 2, they sit inside of the dome car, as you can see in the top left-hand corner. Number 3, they have their own private tour guides with them during the day while they travel on board in Gold Star service. Number 4, they also have their own outdoor viewing platform, giving them that fresh Alaska air. And number 5, they have 2 complimentary adult beverages as well, all right? Top 5 reasons why your client should always consider upgrading the Gold Star service. And I will mention this is what the outdoor viewing platform looks like. Again, only folks in Gold Star service have access to that. Again, when they travel, if it's in the morning, they'll have breakfast included. If it's in later in the day, early evening. They'll have dinner included, and during the day, it's lunch. The last, which rounds out the top 5 destinations trending right now, the most popular for 2025 is Italy. And here's my questions for all of you right here, right now. Okay. Do you have clients that are celebrating a special birthday coming up? Do you have clients that are celebrating a special anniversary coming up? Do you have clients who may have just retired? Do you have honeymooners? Yes, honeymooners. All right. I got to tell you, when I was at the conference last week, there was a lot of travel advisors and travel agents like yourselves that had made bookings with us this year and last year and already have bookings for next year that have clients that are honeymooners. You see, not everybody wants to sit by the pool and go to sun and fun. Not everybody wants to do a cruise. A lot of folks want to see and they want to visit and they want to experience destinations. So keep Railbookers in mind, even for any of your honeymoon couples, okay? Very popular. And Italy is one of the most popular destinations for honeymooners as well. What's nice about Italy is certainly any of your clients can see so much on Italy, just like my family and I did. And by the way, if any of you are on Facebook, if you're on Instagram or LinkedIn, well, guess what? I am too. You can connect with me today. I'd be more than honored and grateful to be connected with you. It's Jim Marini, Marini. If you send me a friend request, I'd be more than honored to accept your friend request. And it's a great way to keep in touch and keep updated on the latest and greatest information on Railbookers. But the reason why I'm mentioning that, my family and I went to Italy in March of this year. Okay. It was actually my son getting ready to graduate high school, getting ready to go into college, which, by the way, is another opportunity. If you have clients that want to celebrate their children graduating high school or graduating college, or maybe going to visit family that's studying abroad, this is another area we get tons of bookings on from advisors and travel agents like yourselves. Okay. My family and I wanted to do something special for my oldest son, Jimmy, and we took him to Italy. And we did the traditional Rome, Florence, and Venice, because most of us have never been there. I have over the years, but my family has never been there. So we wanted to do kind of the traditional best of the best cities within Italy. But Italy is one country, as I'm sure for many of you, there's so much to see. There's so many fantastic cities. Do they want to go to the Amalfi Coast? Do they want to go to the Tuscany region, okay? Or anywhere and everywhere in between? Well, explore the best of Europe by rail. We make it easy. And the reason we make it easy, folks, just like my family and I did, is how easy and fast it is to travel by train and how short of a time distance it is to go from Rome to Florence, as an example. Do you know it's only 2 hours? Or to go from Florence up to Venice is only 2 hours as well. That's literally what we did. This is called Trenitalia. It's the high-speed trains in Italy. And again, we work with all the major trains, not only local, but iconic, luxury, you name it, okay? The high speed, such as Trenitalia. We make it easy. Now, what my family and I did when we traveled in Italy, and your clients can do the same, to go from standard seating, which is the main seating on board the train, up to business or first class, we upgraded our tickets for all our family to go from standard seating, which is the main seating, to business class. I think it was like $20 to $30 more per person to upgrade our tickets, worth every penny and more. Why? Because it was such a comfortable way to travel. And here's an example of one of our tours that's trending extremely well for next year. Venice, Florence, Rome, as well as Sorrento. So we do have a little bit of southern Italy included in this package as well. But again, any trip can be customized. And I'll even mention, if your clients want to spend 5 nights in Venice, right? Or maybe they only want 2 nights in Rome instead of 3, we can either add days or take out days. The other cool thing that my family and I did is when we looked at where we were traveling, we also upgraded our hotels. I said, son, I want to do something a little special. I wanted to be more in the center of town where we could walk to and from everywhere. So we kicked up our hotels and upgraded pretty much from 3 to 4, even up to 5-star hotels. And your clients can do the same as well. Now, so much to see, not only in Rome, all right, where we visit the Colosseum. But what's nice is I talked earlier about the different types of activities and tours that we offer. Here's the cool part. We have tours that could be 3 or 4 hours one day. We have tours that could be a full day tours. We have tours that could be headphone sets. So it's basically self-guided tours, or we have tours that are privately small group tours. You and your clients can do the same. We have a whole range of different types of activities and excursions and tours that could be built in. So what my family and I did is we set up a private tour of the Vatican Museum. We set up a private tour of the Colosseum. And we offer those. We offer some of those small group private tours, but we also offer tours where, again, it's self-guided if they want. Lots of great options. Now, I talked about Trenitalia. Look at this, folks. All right, pretty amazing. By the way, a little fun trivia for all of you. Do you know last year alone, over 1 billion with the B, 1 billion people traveled on trains just in Europe. You see, traveling by train in Europe, especially Europe, it's like a way of life, right? It's almost like driving here in the States. That's how they travel in Europe, by train. And again, remember, we not only are able to book the high speed, the luxury, the local, the iconic, we can book the different categories of seats, the different categories of sleepers. And that's the heartbeat of what we do. However, hotels, sightseeing, transfers, meals, ferries, as I mentioned, the only thing we don't book are flights. You take care of that, we'll take care of everything else. Now, believe it or not, Trenitalia even has what they call executive class. So not only business, not only first, they even have executive class. I could go on and on. But here's the best part, folks. I wanted to save this before we open it up to any questions that you have, and also announce the winner of the $100 Amazon gift card. If you look at the top left-hand corner, folks, the choice is yours, all right? We're truly that one-stop shop, all right? Here's what I always say. If you haven't worked with us as of yet, give us a call right on the phone, super short hold time. You'll get a hold of one of our rail experts. Once you have that connection with one or two of our rail experts, then from there, you never have to pick up the phone. You can just email them moving forward. Also, there's no piecing it all together. We take the complexity. We save you days, if not hours, of trying to piece together an independent, customized trip where you're using 4 or 5 different suppliers for one independent FIT customized vacation. Call us. We can pretty much do it all except for flights, okay? Flexible booking window. Now, today, the main focus is 2025. Having your clients get excited, having them book now, even though they're traveling in the next 1 year. But guess what? Our trips can also be booked up to 2 years in advance. How cool is that? As I mentioned earlier, in the top right-hand corner, we have a range of 3, 4, and 5-star hotels. Any of them can be mixed and matched on the same trip. We also have trained travel experts. Those are our rail experts that you and your clients are speaking to, or you're speaking to rather, on the phone. Extensive vacation collection, just a whole range of different products and tours. And yes, we do have a 24/7 emergency line. So we have staff located throughout the world that are there if or when needed for you and your clients. And folks, I can't open it up to questions and certainly announce today's winner of the $100 Amazon gift card if I don't mention something exciting for each and every one of you. Do you know, you, as one of our great travel advisors and travel agents, you can design your own independent fam trip. Any trip, anywhere, anytime, any date. You get up to 20% off, 20% off the total cost, and that includes up to 3 travel companions. How cool is that? Why not see what you sell, all right? And we'll give you that opportunity to do that. Now, folks, as promised, again, we're going to open it up to any questions that you may have, and then I'm going to announce our winner of a $100 Amazon gift card. So, folks, we have a ton of questions that have come in. So I'm going to do my very best to get to as many of these questions as possible. So I want to thank you all again so much for being here and certainly help you any way I can. All right. So with that in mind, let's open it up and we'll go through these questions. So first one from Wanda. Hello, Wanda. Will Railbookers consider travel agents requests or flexibility as optional commission or increased commission if possible when we book more than once? So great question, Wanda. So depending on what consortium you are affiliated with will depend on the commission. As I mentioned, right now, I'm proud to say we're preferred with everybody. So what that means, we're already paying the highest commission possible. which is, by the way, way more commission than you would make if you were to ever book any rail tickets on your own. You'll either make zero to very little commission if you were to book rail tickets. But I'm going to give you one of the biggest selling points right now of today's training webinar. And I'm glad you asked this question, Wanda. With Railbookers, you can book up to 2 years in advance, including pricing and scheduling, or you can also book last minute vacations. If you were to book train tickets on your own, you either make no commission or very little commission, and typically you cannot book farther than 30, 60, or 90 days out from departure, which means you could book a trip right now today to depart in the fall of 2025. And if you were to book your own rail tickets, you would have to wait to book or issue those tickets until 30, 60, or 90 days. With Railbookers, you can book anything now, including pricing and scheduling. Every single thing is commissionable, which again is way more commission you would make if you were to try to piece it all together on your own. And guess what? You're done. You can move on to the next booking, okay? You don't have to wait because it's still a live booking, because you still have to book and issue those tickets and hope you don't forget to actually book or issue those tickets. We make it super easy. All right, let's see. All right, next one. Hello, Joe. Can a 30-day pass be purchased? So we do not offer rail passes, and that's on purpose. In general, what we find is most of our travelers, your clients, the majority, again, are going to be pretty much 40, 50 and older. They like to have more preset scheduled departures outside of, again, the honeymooners, another category that's really starting to build up more and more with Railbookers. But the reason why we don't do passes, it's never guaranteed your clients can get back on the train and get on and off where and when they want. So we do not offer any type of rail passes, so to speak, okay? We find in general, it's more high school or college kids will do more of the rail passes. Let's see, okay, Bridget, the Royal Scotsman, yes. So when I mentioned Belmont, we partner with pretty much all the luxury trains. That includes the Royal Scotsman as well. Thank you, Bridget. Let's see. Is there a link for recommendation on luggage? What size, weight, amount allowed? Great question, Holly. You know, it all depends on where your clients are traveling and on what train. That would be a question for any of our rail experts, Holly, depending on what destination that your clients are looking at. All right. So just wanted to make sure you knew that. Let's see. Let's see, Sean. Yes, Sean. So best way is to always reach out. There is no direct extensions specifically for any of our rail experts, but you can always email them. And what I always suggest is just, if you have someone you love working with, great. And if you don't have anyone currently, once you call us and you have a connection with that person, you can get his or her email address and then just email them moving forward, and then they can schedule a call with you if you need them to call you at a certain time or to work up a package to put together a quote for you. We can certainly do that as well. Let's see. Excursions you offer, are they ones that can be customized, or are they pre-offered? Great question, Ash. It all depends on the excursion. Many of them have already kind of been built from a half a day to full day, but there are some that can also be customized as well. Thank you, Ash. Haley, can you book hotels without rail components? So great question, Haley. We are rail bookers, right? So you do need one piece of rail, but here's what I always mention, Haley. Even with any of our packages, it could be a train from Zurich City Center to Zurich Airport, or from Zurich Airport to Zurich City Center, which, by the way, is about an 8-minute train. So as long as you have one piece of train, even if it's a short little commuter train with the hotel, we can help do that for you. On the flip side, you do need a minimum of 1-night hotel with rail. But here's the cool thing, folks. You could book a package with us, let's say Rome, so from London to Paris, Rome, Florence, and Venice, 5 different train segments. As long as you have 1-night hotel somewhere in that itinerary, 1 night somewhere, we can book it for you, and everything is commissionable, all right? And again, you can book up to 2 years in advance. So if for any of you that are booking any river cruises, as an example, traveling in the next 1 to 2 years, you can book their extensions with us and be done and move on to the next booking, all in one shot. All right, let's see. Okay, just moving along. Great questions, everybody. Definitely, by the way, Ash is mentioning, obviously lots of tourism, sustainability. Trains is one of the most sustainable ways to travel. Train travel is truly one of the most, eco-friendly, sustainable ways to travel. So it's really goes hand in hand. Certainly for any of you or your clients that are interested in traveling to be more sustainable and more sustainability and being more friendly with the ecotourism, trains are a good way. Some of you may have even heard this. There's some countries in Europe that are actually limiting the flights that they could go on if it's shorter than a certain amount. You actually have to travel by train versus plane. Many of you may have heard the same thing as well. So that's something that's pretty exciting, obviously for us and hopefully for all of you. Gabriella, oh, I love this one. Gabriella just said, I just booked. Um, let's see here. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up. I just booked my first Railbookers for a client, 13 days. And here's a perfect example. Thank you, Gabriella. France, Germany, Belgium for the Christmas markets. How cool is that? Again, remember, we make traveling to multiple cities, multiple countries very easy. It's one trip, one call, one email. All right. And we can do it all in one shot, again, except for flights. All right. Thank you, Gabriella, for your booking. Erin, hello, Erin. With drop-offs in city centers, can transfers be booked? If so, where is the pickup? Great question, Erin. So what we do is we do have transfers available in many of the cities throughout the world. But what I will tell you, Erin, because our trips are all independent FIT, most of the hotels that we partner with, ranging from 3, 4, and 5-star, they're actually within walking distance or a short cab ride. Most train stations, as an example in Europe, have taxis and cabs waiting right out front that can take you or your clients right to their hotel or wherever they would like to go. So if you do not see transfers included, it doesn't mean that they're not available. It just means that their hotels are located either within walking distance or a short cab ride or taxi ride from the train station. All right. Thank you, Aaron. Let's see. Gabriella, do we do Ireland? Yes, we do, Gabriella. We do offer Ireland, which, again, is one of our top 5 destinations trending for next year. Arena, many of our clients are traveling a secondary trip and have one large suitcase. Is it difficult to get luggage up the stairs? Is there help? Great question, Rena. Obviously, in Europe, it's a little more hands-on. So if you do have clients that may have a little more challenges carrying his or her own luggage, my advice is to ask the staff at the train stations to help. Many of the train stations do not have elevators or escalators. Again, we're traveling to some parts of Europe where there's just stairs, right? But there are folks at the train stations that can help. I always suggest to give those folks that do help, they basically call them like red cap service, or the train staff is there to help, just to give them a little tip, just as a way of saying thank you. All right. Thank you, Rena. Let's see. Renee, how are clients protected from any European strikes? So great question. We have an entire disruption team ready and able to help and assist with any strikes, with any train delays, and we're always in contact with our travel advisors to give you updates and then to see if we need to move the departure, the times, to work with you firsthand so then you can inform your clients. Thank you, Renee. Marianne, hello, Marianne. Where can I find suggested itineraries for pre and post river cruises? I'm glad you asked, Marianne. Right on our website, railbookers.com, railbookers.com, and you can click on where to start. It's up in the top, and it has a category of pre and post cruise extensions and all the itineraries available. So you can go right there, railbookers.com. Let's see. Okay, Jacqueline, hello. Stephanie in your office, very helpful with my last booking, which included a customized booking. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for your kind words. Appreciate it. Let's see. Do the clients, okay, and this came up before, do the clients have to handle their own luggage? And the answer is yes, they do. Again, it's not like a guided, escorted bus tour where it's all taken care of. These are all independent FIT style vacations. But Connie, as I mentioned, there are staff all throughout the train stations. There's staff at the hotels, the bell folks, the concierge, all right? So there's people to help. We just don't include it because, again, it's all independent FIT style vacations, okay? Let's see. Thank you, Connie. Let's see. This came up, again, train strikes. We do have an emergency 24/7 phone numbers available to help with any train strikes, delays, and we have an entire disruption team as well. Emily, what is the commission It is preferred commission. So depending on what consortium, what travel organization you're part of, I can tell you, because I handle all of our partnerships globally, everybody's preferred, which means everybody's making the max commission. So if you're not sure, just ask your own consortium exactly what that is, okay? Thank you, Emily. Let's see here. Okay. Do we offer packages in Canadian dollars? Chris, yes, we do. All right. So we have both US dollars and Canadian dollars on all of our packages. Leslie, I have clients traveling with you next week in Switzerland. They are in Salzburg now and making their way. Yes, Leslie, thank you so much. That's awesome to hear. Let's see. Debbie, do you have set preferred hotels or can you book any hotels? Great question. So obviously we have preferred partnerships with hotels all over the world, ranging from 3, 4, and 5-star, but we also have a nice range of different hotels. So if you have any particular hotels that you'd like us to book, here's what I will let everyone know. If we can't book a particular hotel that you or your clients may want or prefer for whatever reason, well, guess what? You can book that one hotel and we can book everything else. So you don't have to book everything with us, is what I guess I'm saying, right? So we can either be a piece of the puzzle, we can help connect the dots, we can book 90% of the trip, and you book 10%. As I mentioned, you would need to book the flights anyway on your own because we don't book flights. But if there's a particular hotel that your clients need to book, or if they're staying with family and friends during a portion of their trip, and you need us to book before and after, we can easily do that. Again, very, very, very flexible. All right. Thank you so much, Debbie. Great question. Let's see. Okay. Denise. Hello, Denise. Hello. I currently have a Leon rail trip booked with Railbookers. I was trying to market the trip to others and would like to get a quote. Right. The quote. So this is a good question that Denise is mentioning. So we do a ton of groups, folks. All right. The difference with us is the trains do not allow us to hold group space. So we don't have a set price and 20 seats that we're able to block. We give you a starting from price. Think about if any of you are booking airline tickets, right? You could call this morning and it's $500, or you could check online and it's $500. Then you check later and it's $520, right? Prices can fluctuate. That's what we are. We give you a live price. But once you or your clients deposit, we lock in that price. So whatever that price is, once it's deposited, locked in, even if it's for 2025, which I will mention too, and I'm glad this came up, this question. Our flash sale going on right now, the whole theme of the flash sale, folks, I will say, to Denise's point, is to book where your clients can save up to $600 off per couple for 2025, but basically get today's rates. 2024 rates, right? Because one thing's for sure, pricing in general, all right, especially on the most popular destinations, the most popular routes. I've been here 11 years, and here's what happens. Slowly but surely, they just keep going up, all right? And that's a combination of hotels and, trains and whatnot. So the sooner your clients book, obviously they can save a lot, but also once they deposit, we lock in the rates, all right? Thank you, Denise. Natalie. Let's see. Can you help with rental cars if needed? Natalie, great question. We can in Alaska and we can in the lower 48 in the USA. That would actually be part of our Amtrak Vacations brand. Outside of that, in addition to flights, we do not do car rentals in Europe and other areas around the world. But in the US, we can book car rentals as well. Jennifer, does Glacier Express run year round? Great question, Jennifer. It does, but certainly certain times of the year, it's certainly much more popular. I could say in general from pretty much May to September, October, very, very popular time of the year as well. Barbara, do you have a list of the top 10 train rides or top 10 most scenic rail rides? Barbara, right on our website, railbookers.com, we have a category called iconic trains, which will give you the top 10 train rides. Thank you, Barbara. Celine, booking rail with you, what is the difference if we book on our own directly with the rail? Again, and I'm so glad. Thank you for asking this question. That's from Celine. Celine is asking, what if we wanted to book rail on your own? You could certainly do that, folks. Again, here's what you're going to make. Pretty much 9 out of 10 times. Zero commission. Last time I checked, none of us are working to work for free, right? So number one, will you most likely make zero commission or very little to no commission? but you cannot book or issue those tickets farther than 30, 60, 90 days. So let me just give you an example because it's a great question, Celine. You book a trip today. Let's say a husband and wife, they visit you, they call you, they want to do an Italy trip next year. You can book the whole entire trip except for the rail. If you were to book rail on your own, you will have to wait until 30, 60, 90 days before they depart the fall of next year before you can book that actual train, which basically means it's a live booking. It's never done. You can't close the book. You can't close the folder. And again, you'll make this to this in commission. With Railbookers, we do it all. We have direct relationships and partnerships with all the train lines all over the world, which allows us to book up to 2 years in advance, including pricing and scheduling, and the commission will be way more. It's one of the reasons I'm proud to say we're preferred literally with everybody in the US, Canada, England, and Australia, because we are truly a one-stop shop. All right. So try to make it as easy as we can for each and every one of you. All right. But thank you so much, Celine. Great question. Okay. I'm going to keep going because these are fantastic questions, folks. Okay. Carol Johnson, do you work with groups? So we can help you and your friends and family with any groups. Just again, remember, we don't hold group space. We give you a starting from price, but we can certainly help you with any and all groups as well. Again, live pricing. I always say, as long as you know, when we give you a starting from price, okay, and you mark it to the group, is to just let the group know that, hey, this is the price as of today. It may fluctuate. So if you book 10 people today, all we need is full names, first name, last name, date of birth, passport number if it's Europe, right? But if you call us back in 2 weeks and want to add 2 more people or 4 more people, again, the price could change because it's all live pricing. All right. Thank you, Carol. Laura, can Railbookers help clients with food allergies get safe food on the trains and in the hotels? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Of course we can. You got it. Donna, can we add up our own planning service fee? So we don't do it, but obviously if anybody needs to or wants to, you can certainly do that on your own, whatever you send to the clients. But we don't add anything extra. We just pay commission on our end, which, by the way, commission is paid typically within 2 weeks from the dates your clients return back from their trip as well. Okay, so just wanted to mention that. All our pricing is in both US and Canadian dollars. We also have pricing in Australian dollars, New Zealand dollars, okay, out in the UK, all right? So again, local currency in those markets. Barbara, how far in advance can we book rail? I'm glad you asked, Barbara. Again, just a reminder to everybody, up to 2 years in advance, okay? Let's see. We book not only Europe, not only Canada, we go all over the world. This question's from Celine. All over the world, South Africa, South America, India, Australia, Peru, South America. I could go on and on, all right? It's really, really cool. Let's see. Any folks, senior clients, so with Amtrak Vacations, if any clients are 65 or older, they can get up to 10% off on the rail ticket for any package based in coach seating. That's only USA, Celine, where we do offer a discount for folks 65 or older. Again, rail only in the US. Let's see. And that's with Amtrak Vacations. Kathy, how far out should I tell my clients they need to book for Rocky Mountaineer? Kathy, in general, the sooner the better, especially a Rocky Mountaineer, as I'm sure many of you joining me would agree. That train is one of the most iconic trains in the world. So depending on when they're looking to go next year, the sooner you let us know, the better. And that's the beautiful thing. With us, you can book up to 2 years in advance to make it nice and easy. All right. Great questions, everybody. Absolutely fantastic. Haley, do you offer agent discounts? We do. So 20% off, folks, for any of you that may have joined us a little bit late. 20% off the total cost for you, and you can bring up to 3 travel companions who also get up to 20% off, which is really cool. Neil, here we go. Neil, is there a tour conductor on each of these trips? So not like a tour guide, but obviously they do have folks on all the trains, of course, the train conductors, but there's not like a tour guide, so to speak, because again, remember, these are all independent FIT style vacations, okay? So thank you very much. Great question. Let's see. Thank you, Neil. Candice, do you offer transfers from the cruise port? Yes, we do offer transfers to and from the cruise port. to make it easy for each and every one of you and your clients as well, which is good. All right, folks, I got time for a few more questions. By the way, we have over 200 questions that have come in, folks. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get to all of your questions because I have another training webinar coming up. But here's what I will say to all of you. If I was not able to answer your question, folks, right in front of you is our phone number. Don't even think twice. Give us a call, even if it's just to answer one of your questions that I was not able to get to today. Ask one of our rail experts, and guess what? You may just establish a fantastic, great connection, and then there's your go-to person who then you can email moving forward for any quote, any booking as well. So just wanted to mention that. Let's see. It is easy to upgrade as well, depending on where they're traveling to, depending on the train. So some trains obviously can be a little harder than others. It all depends. If you're asking your clients to upgrade, if they're traveling in the next 2 to 3 months, obviously that's going to be hard. But if they're traveling in the next 1 to 2 years, which again, that's the main focus of today, is 2025, then we can certainly help you. Here's a good one. Linda, I need help with a multi-country trip for 2025. Italy, Monaco, and France would like to talk with someone to help put this together. Linda, thank you. We would love to help you and your client put that fantastic trip together. And by the way, I'm glad you asked this, Linda. Did I mention this is another, folks, I'm filled with great highlights, all right? We do instant quotes. There is no 3 to 5 day turnaround for quotes, all right? We do instant quotes right on the phone. All right. Most companies, as many of you know, at a minimum takes 24 to 48 hours, but most of the time it'll take 3 to 5 days because they got to send it to a DMC in the country who then prices it out, sends it back to them. They add their own markup and then they send it to you. We do it right on the phone. There is no DMC. We have direct contracts and relationships with everybody. So I'm going to leave you with that last selling point. And I do have a winner to announce as well. All right. I can't wrap it up. And again, folks, if I did not get to your question, please know I tried. There's over 200 questions that have been asked, okay? So here is what I will say. If you have clients, regardless if they're asking to travel by train or not, but they want more of an independent FIT vacation. Again, obviously, when you think of Railbookers, we, of course, do rail, but really what we are is we're a worldwide land FIT tour operator that just happens to specialize in rail, where you can book up to 2 years in advance. You make way more commission. Again, over 30% of our business is pre and post cruise extensions, as well as just fantastic land, independent, customizable packages available for you and your clients. And remember, any package, any trip that you book or get a quote with us, we do it right on the phone. There is no 3 to 5 day turnaround. Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's training webinar. And as promised, okay, 2 things. Number 1, again, if I did not get to your questions, don't even think twice. Give us a call. Our team is waiting to speak to each and every one of you. Give us a call. We'll be more than happy to answer those questions or even put that next amazing quote and booking together for you and your clients today, all right? But speaking of today, our winner of our $100 Amazon gift card is Haley Voss. Haley Voss, congratulations on winning our $100 Amazon gift card. Folks, thank you all so much for your past, your present, and your future support. And I wish all of us the most successful 2025 season. Now is the time to start. So pick up that phone today. Give us a call. Again, we're open 7 days a week, and we'd be more than happy to help each and every one of you and your clients. On behalf of Railbookers, folks, Jim Marini, Senior Vice President of Strategic Partnerships. And don't forget to connect with me on either LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, as I'd be more than honored to be connected with you as well. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye-bye.